$30 a month is nothing, right? But I want to be able to buy stuff, so the faster I pay it off, the sooner I can put stuff on, right? And I got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. Whatever, more than just guitars and stuff like that. But because I got to get cameras, I got to get chainsaws, got to get stuff, right? But there's also I don't want to put everything on the credit card. Although when you mail order, like it's the easy way to do it, right? But if you can pay it off by, like, you put it on the credit card, pay it off by the end of the month, that's great. So for me, I'm not gonna hit that big pothole this time. See, I didn't. For me, if I can, well, regardless of how much I put on there this month, early next month, providing the guitar doesn't sell on me, I'll buy, well, there's other guitars that I have on the list too, so if the 7-string sells on me, it'll suck, because it's like, can I get it for that price? And it's probably on sale because it's discontinued, right? That's usually the way it goes with a lot of these shops. So if I can get lucky enough to get the guitar, the second 7-string, that'll be it for 7 strings. 2 7-strings, that's a lot. Now, like, let's say I had a 50 guitar collection, right? And you say, okay, you can only keep 1 guitar out of it. From a songwriter's point of view, it would be one of those Mark Holcomb 7-strings. Well, right now it would be the Mark Holcomb 7-string that I have, and soon to hopefully have 2. But I want all 4 Mark Holcomb guitars because I really like them. I know it makes me look like a fanboy, but when you get guitars that are that good, and I mean, there's things to critique about it. I'm not saying they're the best guitar in the world, but what I'm saying, bang for the buck, that much 7-string, that quality of a 7-string for that money is like bang for the buck. It's like the best guitar in the world. You know what I mean? Like, you really can't go wrong. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty cool, but there's also Telecasters I'm looking at. Like, I want at least one good Strat. Get off the road, bird. One good Telecaster, one good. The Telecaster I really want is the one in the Dark Knight. I know everybody thinks Batman, but the Dark Knight Blue, Blueburst. That one's gorgeous, but it's like $2,500. And to be honest with you, like a Telecaster, you can buy a $300 Telecaster, and it'll sound good. The expensive ones sound better. That's all. Like a Telecaster's a neat guitar if you're into them, because you almost can't buy a bad one. You know what I mean? Like if the wiring's good and all that. They almost all sound good, even the cheap ones. I don't know. It's just the way the formula of them, the way the bridge is and stuff like that. And then with the single coils, they sound great for cleans. They're not like a super shredder guitar, although you got like Richie Kotzen is a Telecaster guy with single coils too. Like, he's not a humbucker guy, he's a single coil guy, and he gets some pretty freaking gnarly sounds for single coil Tele. You know what I mean? Fantastic player too, bizarre man, but a fantastic player. I wonder if I'm going to be getting some groundhogage today. I'll be stopping here on the way back. So anyway, bottom line, if I half pay down the card in the next week or so, I could still get 1 guitar, but that if I can get it financed. If I can't get it financed and I have to put the whole kit caboodle on there, I'm still ahead of the game, so I might do that. But then my payments go up and the interest goes up, and then you know what I mean? Like, I have to make bigger payments to zero out the interest. But I might also be able to pay that guitar off in two months. You know what I mean? Which would be cool. Because right now, the way I look at it is I have 1 Mark Holcomb guitar, the 6-string, to pay off, and then obviously I still paying for the drum kit. But this month's payment pay for you know, like it brings it down to half, right? So we'll say that that pays off, pretty much would be paying off more than half the Mark Holcomb 6-string, and then the other $230 would be the drum kit, right? So it's kind of the way, like, I mean, it's all the same pool of, you know, all the same debt at the end of the day, but I like to think about it as, you know, paying it off in the order that I buy things. So if I'm most likely going to make my $700 minimum monthly payment. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it, but then it worked out that way. You know what I mean? Because I'm waiting on a big payment for the season, but the guy, my client, her dad, he comes down and he pays me from far side of Montreal. But the problem is he hurt his back. And he was like, would you mind if I waited a week? I'm like, yeah, that's no problem. So I'm hoping this weekend he comes down. If it's this weekend, then I'm gonna, have about $1,200 to put down on the card, maybe more, including Friday. And then Monday, just go and pay the whole credit card off. See it at zero for the first time in a long time. Then, when I put something on, if I do monthly payments, I'm not putting a full whack load, like a full price of a guitar on there at once. I'm just putting partial on there. So in August, I could zero it out, and maybe August, September, zero out the guitar, the payments twice again, September, October, and then if I'm lucky and get it done in November as well, where I go into the winter with basically zero debt and just slightly growing debt if I can't make the minimum monthly payments too much. But the minimum monthly payments are going to be like $40, something like that. And then maybe by the end of the winter, that might be $120, something like that, which is, no problem. But if I can zero out the debt each month, and that, since I didn't expect to be able to do that at all, I figured I would be paying for this drum kit only for the next year, or till February, and I wouldn't be able to, like, I'd be just doing the minimum monthly payments, and just, the debt would be coming down really slowly. But it turned out that this year has been a crazy, crazy year, and I've been grinding like crazy, like slave to the grind. Here we go, cue Skid Row, right? Right. And the crazy part about that is that February, I zeroed out the payment, right, of the 230 some odd bucks, and I was like, okay, that's one payment where the debt didn't grow, right? It actually lowered the payment, so the next payment obviously is a little bit smaller each time, right? But I always take the minimum monthly payment and try to double it or triple it, right? If you want to see the credit card debt go down, you have to do that. If you do the minimum monthly payments, you'll be paying for a decade. It gives you an estimate at the bottom of your statement each month of, if you make the minimum monthly payment, it will take you 7.5 years to pay off this debt, right? You know how much interest you would pay in 7.5 years? That'd be nuts. So you can't do the minimum monthly payment, even though your debt will come down a little bit, because like, for example, on $100, 20 some of it is basically interest. What they used to do with credit cards is they just gave you the interest payment per month, so you could never pay it down if you did the minimum monthly. It would just stay the same. In fact, the debt would grow, because like, eventually the interest would overtake the minimum monthly interest. You know what I mean? Or it would just stay the same, right? Because they don't really want you to pay it off. They just want you to keep making payments. Credit card is a bad